Peter Rose, Longwood Currency Trading. I just finished my coffee and I'm going to head outside, take you guys out with me, more because I have to walk the dog out back. But the title of the video is Trading Forex Successfully is a Choice. And I want to explain that to you, and I hope you stay through the video because this could be a really important topic for you. But right now, let's go walk the Bo dog. So there's the Bo, and he's ready to go for a walk. Come on, Bo, we're going to do the loop. So, trading Forex successfully is a choice. What do I mean by that? Well, let's go on a philosophy journey here. My brother died a couple of years ago, of cancer, and suffered with that for a couple of years. And when I'd go out to see him, even when he was so weak that he had to have a walker and people help him in the walker and help him out of the car, he was just so exhausted. You know, I was there with one of his sons, and he'd say, where are you guys going out to dinner? We'd say, well, you know, we're going out to this pizza place. Well, I want to go. Or it'd be during the day. Where are we going today for a cup of coffee? And we'd say, well, we can go into Baltimore, or we can go down here, or whatever. I want to go. Well, he was making a choice. He knew he was dying, but he chose to live his life happy and enjoying the time that he had left, rather than to sit in his chair and be pissed off at the world and to give in to his fears. That was a choice. And you can understand that choice. So what's the problem with understanding that we have a choice to either be successful in our trading or not? You think it's because you're stupid, or well, you're not stupid. You wouldn't even know how to use YouTube if you were stupid. So why aren't you as successful as you want to be? Because you don't know enough stuff. You don't know how to do fundamental analysis. You don't know how to do technical analysis. You listen to Bob's system and you can't make that work. You can't, you know, whatever it is. That, excuse me, that has nothing to do with it. Speaking of nothing to do with it, I came out here to walk the dog, and the dog is not cooperating. He doesn't cooperate because Sue is gone to Massachusetts with her son and to meet daughter Jill, and I don't know what they're going to do, but I'm supposed to walk the dog and he's not even here. Let me get him. Hey, Bo, come on. Hey, there you are. Hey, come on, we're doing the there he is. Bo, pay attention. Come on, show your fans how disciplined you are. Oh my God. Come on. I've been doing it, as you know, martial arts for 50 years, over 50 years now. And every morning, this is what I tell my students, every morning when my feet hit the deck, when I get out of bed, I have a choice to make. Today's going to be a good day or it's going to be a bad day. Now, it doesn't really matter what I choose. I'm going to run into some things that are good, and I'm going to run into some things that are bad. I may step in dog shit that day, and maybe that's a bad thing, or maybe I'll win another $2 in the Powerball, and that's a good thing. But what I'm doing is I'm making a conscious choice. I'm making a decision that today is going to be a good day. Because if I don't make that decision, if I don't choose, this is what I tell my karate students, if you don't choose, the result is that it's going to be a bad day. You must choose. You can't just set agnostic to the world and take what comes. You make a choice, and you make the best of things, despite the the problems that you're gonna encounter during your day, or the people that you're gonna deal with. I'm dealing with a guy right now that cheated me on a car purchase. Okay, it's a lot of money. Car's a wreck, and I made the wrong choice. Well, I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I was stupid. I made the wrong choice, and didn't do what I was supposed to do. So I eat the cost of the car, and there's probably close to $3,000 of work that needs to be done just to get it on the road. Because I don't know anything about cars. I put my trust and my faith in what this guy was telling me, and he lied to me. So it's not just like I bought a lemon. The guy lied to me. Why should I be pissed off? I'll let my attorney be pissed off. Well, we'll see how that works out. Because I'm a vindictive prick. I'll, set the attorney loose on him and cost him money, and it'll cost me more money than it will cost him, but it will cost him money. At some point, things get around. But I'm not going to worry about that, because I made a choice when I got up. The day after that occurred, it was going to be a good day. Today's a good day. And what are you going to do? That's a choice. So when you sit down at the trading desk to make a trade, what choice are you making? If you're just sitting down to make a trade, you're taking the negative of that. You're afraid that it might be a bad trade. The fact that you're concerned that you may lose money, the fact that you're concerned that it might be a bad trade, the fact that you're concerned that maybe you didn't do all the work that you should do in order to learn all the shit that you needed to learn in order to be a good trader, which is absolutely contrary to what it takes to be a good trader. You're as Sun Tzu said, every battle is won or lost before it's ever fought. If you don't make a choice that you're going to have a good experience trading, not that you're going to win money or you're going to have fun or all that happy horse shit, but you're making a choice to be successful. Do you think if you're successful today that has any consequence in what's going to happen tomorrow or the next day or 20 years from now? It isn't what happens today. That's just winning today. Being successful is, unfortunately, if you're younger watching this video, in that my 21 to 34-year-old age group that I tend to target in my videos, you don't have the length of time to see the consequences of the things that you do today. And so a win today means everything in the world to you, but not a small success today that you can repeat every day so that in 30 years you can look back at that and say, I made the right choices. I had a happy life. I had a good time. That's what my brother did on his deathbed, is he looked back over his life and he said, I've had a good run. And my brother helped a lot of people. So it's not inconsequential what you do on a daily basis if you are not duplicating that on a daily basis for your whole life. And that requires a belief system, not just something that you do. It's like some advice that I was giving to my daughter the other day. She has finally got to an age where she's going, gee, maybe I ought to start some serious savings rather than just putting money in a checkbook in a savings account and buying a new car with it. What do I do? And I said, well, the most important thing you need to realize is that if you put $6,000, excuse me, $6,000 a year into an IRA, for example, because that's the most you can put in right now. If you put $6,000 a year into an IRA and could get a 6% annual return on that over a 30-year period of time, you'd have something like $350,000. You'd put in $180,000, but the value of the account would be $350,000. So the differential between the 350 and the 180, that's a lot of money. That's the power of compounding. However, if you short sheet yourself and you wait just 5 years, so that now you can only compound that $6,000 at 6% over 25 years, the end result is that the value of the account is, I think it was 220,000 or something like that. I forget what it was. It's really immaterial, but it was whatever the number is. It was $132,000 less because you wait 5 years. So every day, boys and girls, when you climb up out of the rack, if you're not saying, I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm terrific, and I'm calm, that's something that I teach my martial arts students. I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm terrific, and I'm calm. And I say that multiple times a day. Because if I don't say them, then the default occurs, and I'm not happy, healthy, terrific, and calm. And so I don't really necessarily, because of my background and my training, have to sit down at the trading desk and say, oh, I'm going to have a successful day today. This is going to be just great. Because I live my life like that. As the Buddhist would say, right thinking, right living. And so, but that's me. That's an experience. Whether I'm winning or whether I'm losing, it doesn't matter in the long run. Because first of all, we're all dead in the long run, and so none of that's going to make any difference. But secondarily to that, in the long run, you take advantage of the law of large numbers. So you could just have a little tiny success. You make just 6% on your money. It grows to, and you constantly add that little bit of money every day or every week or every month. It results in massive change. I told my daughter that when I started out, I had a net worth of $2,100 or $2,300, something like that. And $1,000 of that or $1,100 of that was from my parents, who had bought some stock for me when I was a little kid. They sold it and they sent me the $1,000, whatever it was. And with that money, I opened a karate school and I began teaching karate. A career that I've had for 50 years. But when I first started teaching karate, when I opened my karate school, I was making so little money that I could not qualify for a gas credit card. That's no shit. Now, you can be totally incapacitated mentally and almost dead, making no money probably, and still get a gas credit card. But I was making so little money that I couldn't qualify for the gas credit card. But what I did do, in following, the basic principles of The Automatic Millionaire, which wasn't written until 40 years later, or The Richest Man in Babylon, I think it's Clausen that wrote that book, you save 10% of any money that you get. I call that my no-touch account. Means you don't touch it. You put money into it, but you don't take any money out. And the only reason that you take money out, not to buy a new car, not because of a medical emergency or to bury your dog, as I said to my daughter. The only reason you take it out is if that money can grow. You buy a car for $2,000, you put $1,000 in it, you're $3,000 into it, you sell it for $4,000, the $4,000 goes back in the no-touch. So that's the balance of nature that we're talking about here, not just currency trading. If you want to be a successful currency trader, that's your choice. And you say, oh, it's easy for you to say, blah, 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 oh, come on, quit your whining. The first thing you have to do is change the way that you think. Consider yourself successful, and you'll attract successful thoughts. If you think stupid shit will happen to you. Right? If you go into a restaurant bitching about, oh, the food's crappy, I don't like the decor, that waiter looks like he's on drugs, blah, 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 blah. Your experience is lousy. Nothing's happened to you, but your experience is lousy. Or if you're sitting with the person that's making all that shit up, it's equally annoying. It's not a good experience. You say, well, my life sucks. You know, I haven't been able to get back to work. I haven't been able to get a job. I got laid off from my job 6 months ago, and I can't get back, and I'm 55 years old, and it's age discrimination, and my knees hurt, and I can't really do that anymore, and I got 2 kids to support, and we can't make the rent payment. I mean, it's just a hand to mouth, and you know, all I've got is this $1,000 that I want to trade, and I want to learn these currency trading stuff so that I can, you know, when I get back on my feet with a job, I can put $3 or $4 or $5 or $10,000 into this currency account, and I can start augmenting my income because I just can't make it. You know, you've got all these things that are going against you, but you have to think positively. It's all going to come out okay. But if you don't start working on it right now, today, then it'll be 15 minutes before you drop dead when you realize, oh, geez, I could have been happy all this time, but here I was bitching about things, and now I'm ready to die. You know, it's like the unfortunately sad story. We're in this COVID pandemic thing right now, and there's people that don't want to get vaccinated and all this stuff. And yeah, that's your choice. That's fine. At some point, it becomes community's choice because of spread dangers and all the other stuff, and that'll come out. I mean, this is first week of August 2021. But the sad story was guys was from a nurse who was taking care of this guy that had come in with COVID, and he was in such bad shape they had to put him on a ventilator. And just before they put him on a ventilator, he was pleading with this nurse, give me the vaccine, give me the vaccine. She said, I'm sorry. He said, I'm going to die without the vaccine. He said, the vaccine won't do you any good. It takes 2 weeks for it to begin to have any effect, and then you need a booster. You should have done this months ago, but you made the choice not to. And the guy died several days later. I mean, I don't mean to be fucking dramatic here, but look, this is life. Currency trading can change your life. But if you step up to the screen every day worrying about your risk, or worrying that you got to finish reading Al Brooks's book, or you got to take this course, or listen to someone asshole's telling you, you don't have to worry about any of that. You know what the greatest advice that I can give anybody, and the thing that I harp on with anybody that wants to learn trading with me, is take an immediate loss. When things don't work out for you, take the short loss. Don't listen to these people that say, oh, let the thing breathe and all that stuff. Maybe you can let it breathe when you become experienced, but until you get experience, which means you're consistent. You can do something for 10 years but not be experienced at it, right? You have to be consistent with that. So if you're consistently pulling that money off the table short, eventually you'll learn what to do and you'll become profitable, and you'll see the value of that. So if that's all you do, if your life is so fucked up that you cannot change the way that you think about your currency trade, you as a person being successful trading in the Forex market, then here's what you do. Take a short loss. Go to a 5-minute time frame, trade on a day trader type basis so that you can learn a lot. You can't learn if you're only going to put up one position on a week or one position on every 4 days. You're not going to learn. Go down and do day trading. If the thought of it makes you puke, you're only trading with $1,000. You can make that up later when you go off and do what you think you want to do, which is up on the long-term charts. Because on the short-term charts, trading, for example, I trade a a pair that has a 5-period ATR on the 5-minute chart. So my stop is 8 pips. And when I get out at 8 pips, every time, I'm very successful. My monthly percentages are off the roof. But many times my emotion gets in the way. My better judgment gets in the way. And I take a horrible hit. 30-40% of my account can go down because I let that fucker run. I don't take that short loss, and the loss gets bigger, and I think, oh, it'll come back, and then and it doesn't come back. And then the loss gets so big, I go, oh, I don't care anymore. And then it gets monstrous. You want to be successful trading? Get control of your risk. Don't worry about the profits. They'll take care of themselves when you learn what to do. I would hazard a guess to say you're probably not going to be able to be disciplined enough to do that you need somebody standing over you to do that. A story about Richard Dennis and his turtle program is one of the turtles reported that one day he was in the early stages of his learning. He was sitting in front of the terminal and he was hesitant to take this trade. And Richard Dennis came and was looking over his shoulder, and Dennis says, take the trade. And the guy was paralyzed, he just, Dennis said, take the trade. And he hit the button and took the trade. And it ultimately ended up making a lot of money. But he said, without Richard Dennis, a guy that had taken $400 and run it to $100 million, without that successful person telling him to do that, he probably would not have taken the trade, because he didn't have the confidence in himself as to what he had been taught, as to the simplicity of the trading process, to take that trade when he knew he should. The turtles only received 2 weeks of formal training. Some of them never traded before. They received 2 weeks of formal trading. They were given a couple $100,000, and they traded for I think it was a month. It might have been 2 months. I think it was a month. And then at the end of that time, the people that had really figured things out, they were given $500,000. One guy was given, Curtis Faith, $2 million, because he followed the rules exactly the way that they were, and he was successful with it. He ultimately ended up making Richard Dennis $30 million just from his own efforts at trading. But that guy that was sitting there that didn't feel he could take the trade without Richard Dennis saying, take the trade, it's a lack of discipline, a lack of confidence, a lack of feeling successful. He knew what he should do, but he couldn't do it on his own. So are you, as an individual person, do you have the background and the strength of character enough to look at that screen and take that short loss? Are you going to get out every time? Because if you don't, you know better than anybody else. You have to demonstrate your resolve and your desire for success by having the willingness to take to close a trade when it's not successful, when it's not going the way you want it to go, instead of letting it go and going, it'll come back, it'll work its way out, I got to give it some fucking room to breathe. I'm going to go up onto a higher time frame now and look at it, and look, it hasn't bounced off the 55 period moving average on that time frame yet, so we'll let it go until it hits that. You are delusional, and you're kidding yourself, and you're full of shit. And the reason I can tell you that, boys and girls, is because that's exactly what I've gone through, what I've done before, and it still plagues me, as disciplined as I am. And I'm just as honest and upfront with everybody on this channel as I can be. If you're looking for somebody that claims they made $1 million from a $10,000 stake, go listen to them. They're full of shit. You want to talk to somebody that take $10,000 and ran it to 6 figures in 18 months, good luck. They're working with 200 to 1 leverage and they got fucking lucky. Good luck. Listen, sit down for yourselves and think yourself successful. And you will be over the long run. Peter Rose, Longwood Currency Trading. Have a great day and have a great trading day.